What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 310 EDU's YouTube channel. Today, we got a very special topic. Most of you that have roped a little bit have heard this phrase, and the ones of you that have not roped a little bit will learn this phrase very quickly. So one thing you'll hear at a roping or a branding or really anywhere you go where people are roping is you'll hear people from the audience on the fence hollering, "Don't look at your horn. It's never going to move," right? It's a standard, dude. You don't have to look at the horn to take your dallies, right? I was at a roping last weekend and I was judging it. We had a great roping, but this was part of the deal. You got minus 10 points if you looked at your horn while you were taking your wraps. Now, there's not a one of us that doesn't occasionally take a peek to make sure it's still there. But the fact is that most of the time when you're going to the horn, you don't need to look at it. It's never going to move, right? So today, I'm going to talk about one thing that I saw at this roping and the reason why these guys were having to look at their horn to get their dallies. And it all starts with your right hand, this hand, okay? So I'm going to pitch this rope out here to my buddy Evan, and he's going to take the end of it. Slide that way where you don't hit the camera. So if Evan's my cow and I rope Evan and I try to, so don't let me pull you, okay? And I grab this rope and I try to pull him to the horn. I can't get to the horn, right? And that's what you'd see. These guys would throw a shot, they'd stand up, they'd throw their shot, they'd pull their slack, and then they'd just try to pull that 600-pound calf to the horn. And the first thing that would happen is that calf would be pulling them. Their arm would be out here like this, and it'd be kind of snatching the rope a little bit out of their hand. And the first thing they would do is they'd be looking dead at the horn and trying to get his dallies, right? So the way that you combat this is as Evan leaves, so if he's leaving, if I'm the calf, and if you back up, Evan, and I slide rope out of my hand like this, I can take, keep going, I can take my wraps, right, and let my horn stop Evan, not my hand. What I can't do is grab that rope and pull him and get my dallies. Does that make sense? So if Evan takes off again, slide that way just a flick. All right, now if he leaves, I'm letting it slide through my hand, and if I want to stop him, it's here. Does that make sense? So one of the huge things about feeding rope, not only are you going to feed rope around the saddle horn, right? You're going to feed rope out of your hand. The whole time you're taking your dallies, right? If Evan's leaving, and as he goes, it's slide, 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 stop. Does that make sense? And if he continues to leave and I feed rope, my hand's going to drift to the horn. I might take another wrap, and then I'm loosely going to be holding the rope over here behind the horn like this, or I'm going to bring it back around to my right leg. So if you guys practice this by getting a buddy of yours to pull that rope out of your hand one more time, so you can practice it. He's pulling that rope, slide, 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 and then I go to the horn to stop him, right? I'm going to let it slide the whole time. You can practice this by putting a counterweight in your barn and try to slide that thing down to where it needs to go. I've heard a lot of guys doing that. Or you can play, my personal favorite is you can play tug of war with your dog. So give your dog the end of your rope, send them, let them run off, stop them, let them fight it for a second, cool up, let them run off again, slide rope out of your hand, and then go back to the horn. But to be unconsciously competent at roping, you have to be able to go to the horn without doing like this, right? It's never going to move. It's always going to be there. We do not have to look at the horn to go to the horn. Anyways, that's our tip for the week. Appreciate you guys watching. Please hit the subscribe button and the little bell for the next time we post a video. I got a ton of great content coming out from our clinic in North Carolina. Most of that's going to go on 310edu.com, but I'll be posting some of it here, along with some of your questions that we got last week while I was gone on hula hand angles, how I build a loop a certain way. I got a ton of cool videos coming out. So, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.